Yo, I'm so used to this app saying recording is on and it's not even doing that no more. So this shit threw me off. Um anyway, if y'all didn't heard by now, Bill Cosby is set to be released today. So Bill Cosby will officially be a free man. And there are people that are happy about it, and there are people that are really, really fucking upset about it. All right, so let me first say this. I've been defending Bill Cosby since the first time. I don't believe he raped those women. I do not believe he raped those women. And the funny thing is, when people say that, they think you're just defending a rapist. In which, in we're saying no, because if he did would have raped it, and it was proven that he was a rapist, we would like to see him he should be locked up and not be a free man. If there was evidence showing that he did rape those women, then I would say lock him up. I would say keep him there. It was like I'll be the one telling you that it's bullshit that he's free. But I never believed it. I also read the deposition because a lot of people was like, "Oh, he admitted that he did it or he raped her." I said, and that is false. And a lot of people I could tell never read the deposition. They read what the media was trying to put out and never read the whole fucking deposition themselves. So the way it was worded, even though it was a quote, if you would have read that quote, you would have thought he did it too. Especially when it was like, he bought Quaaludes from women he know he was going to have sex with. But in a deposition, they do ask him, as like, and they asked him, it's like, was he using Quaaludes to have sex? And he said yes, and they knew. It's like, and I'm paraphrasing. It's like because I don't have the deposition in front of my head, but when I read it, it said yes, they knew they was getting into. They knew that uh, they knew that they was I was putting Quaaludes in his drink, and I bet you, and this is just me saying, I bet you some of them was asking for it. See, what people don't understand is it's just like the way I looked at it. It may not be true. You could say, this is coming out of my ass, but I think that I personally think that some of them was even asking for it. And then like a lot of black, and here's the thing, like especially because a lot of black men was defending him. Yes, there was black men against him, but a lot of black men was defending him because we felt. But I know there's a lot of black men that defended him in silence and didn't want to fuck up their money because they know like the Me Too movement was strong and like if you would have sided with Bill Cosby, you would have been in support, right? Like shout out to the people that openly defended Bill Cosby. Let's just say I don't think he did it. None of this was fucking factual. None of this was proven. None of this was hearsay. And I don't. And I'm not saying those women are liars. I'm just saying that none of this was factually proven. And yes, I understand the system is fucked up to where women who are sexually assaulted, and let's be clear, he was never going to jail for rape. He was going to jail for sexual assault. It's a difference. There really is a difference. And I was sooner or later when I get to that, I'm going to read like what is the difference. But there was a lot of it was fucking hearsay. And if you really and like I said, if you really looked at the deposition, he never admitted to raping those women. Because if he did, he would be locked up. But he was not. But it was never for fucking rape. It was sexual assault. A lot of people were just throwing rape in there because they wanted to see that man in jail. And a lot of people like when you defended it, it was like you're defending a rapist. It was just like there's nothing here that or nothing in the deposition or nothing that he said was instilling that he was raping women. Like he said, the women that he gave Quaaludes, they knew. So he had their consent. And I think he had sex with those women? Yes. I think that, like I said before, the only thing I think he's guilty of is infidelity, is cheating on his wife. But I did feel, I honestly, and people was like, how can you like disregard the 60 women? And it was like the same way a woman could be called a witch in the Salem witch trials, and even though she's not a witch, and they fucking die on the fucking cross. I know a fucking witch hunt when I see one. And this is what a lot of people say. Like, this shit is suspicious. And then it's just like more and more came out. I was like, There's something weird about this. And then when you really break down to it, a couple of them did lie. Janice Dickinson fucking lied. A couple of them said he did, and he wasn't even in the same state. But people overlook that shit. Harvey Weinstein, I do believe he did it. And it's not saying because a lot of people are like, you're defending rapists. No, this is a case. First off, this is a case by case basics, right? If like I said, if because I can tell you, I said I think R. Kelly did it. This videotape of him fucking a 13-year-old girl and peeing on her. So, and anybody that watched the tape, yeah, he did that shit. You don't see me out here supporting R. Kelly because I said I seen it, and it looked like and she looked fucking underage. I guarantee, yes, I thought R. Kelly was guilty. I honestly said he shouldn't have got off at the last fucking trial. He should have been locked up then. I said that about R. Kelly. Fucking Weinstein, I thought he did it. But I thought he was going to get off too. At the same time, and my whole thing about that is, I thought he was going to get off. I'm going to be real. I thought white supremacy was going to let him go. And then I feel like the only reason he got locked up because we kept bitching about it. I felt like if we left that shit alone, he'd have been free. Kevin Spacey. God, I love that actor, but that man was filed for what he did. And he even admitted. But they let him go. And we've seen a lot of people let him go. Like, and one thing a lot of people was like mad about, it's like, hold on. Y'all not convicting these white actors the way y'all was, or white celebrities the way y'all was convicting these black celebrities. And this is where a lot of black men was like, yo, hold on. Even the ones that, like, I guess, you know, they thought that he did it. They was like, yo, this is not fair. It was like, damn, y'all about to give him like damn near fucking all these years, and a lot of these white celebrities that admit to doing shit either go scot-free or they get some very fucking light sentence. A lot of people are not happy with Derek Chauvin's light sentence, which I will probably talk about on the podcast too. I got to make sure I put that in. Yeah, a lot of people talked about that, and the whole thing about black people was like, no, we're not getting scrutinized on the same level. It's like everybody was like, oh, so I guess you want to see the rapists free. I said, that's not what the fuck we said. I said, if you're going to do it 100% of the way. If you're going to do it to the white celebrities, you're going to do it to the black celebrities. This is where I feel like it got real fucked up for, and I think even with this Bill Cosby thing, it separated the black community because a lot of brothers didn't think he did it. And a lot of brothers were scared to say, I don't think he did it. Just like I feel like a lot of black people, now, don't get me wrong, I still, like, this. If you're a dog lover, you probably think Michael Vick did it. But I don't think Michael Vick killed them dogs. I still don't feel like Michael Vick killed him, though. I think he had to admit it because just to take a lighter sentence. And Bill Cosby, God bless that man, because he could have got out under like a sex offender charge. He was like, no, because I didn't do it. I think any dude would have took that sex offender charge just to get out of jail. There's a lot of dudes that will just stand on their morals and pride. Like, a lot of people, like, go to jail for not snitching. Like, they will never snitch to go home. And there's been times when it's like, I could go home right now, you know, just on some bodies. But it's just like, no. I don't think Bill Cosby did it. And to this day, and it's just like, I've been saying this since day one. I don't think he did it. Do I think he had sex with those women? Yes. And I think it was consensual. But I don't think he raped those women. And also, a lot of people was like he was going to jail for rape. That's also false. He wasn't going to jail for rape. He was going to jail for sexual assault. And like and I pulled up this thing from embrylawfirm.com to, they basically, and this is for educational purposes, YouTube. I don't know if this is going to be up or not, but they basically give the definition. What is rape? Rape is legally, and this is from embrylawfirm.com, excuse me. Rape is legally defined as any form of unwanted sexual penetration. That includes penetration that is oral, vaginal, excuse me, or anal. In order to be classified as rape, penetration may include a body part or an object. The U.S. Department of Justice defined rape as the penetration, no matter how slight, of the vagina or anus with any body part or object, or oral penetration by a sex organ of another person without the consent of the victim. Now, what is sexual assault? Sexual assault, as a more broad definition, as it is defined by unwanted sexual contact, it is not limited to penetration, uh, but also includes touching, fondling, molestation. According to the U.S. Department of Sexual Assault, is defined as any type of sexual contact behavior that occurs without the explicit consent of the recipient, falling under the definition of sexual assault or sexual activities are forced as sexual intercourse, forcible sodomy, child molestation, incest, following, and attempted rape. So how misunderstood is the difference between rape and sexual assault? Survey by the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, the NSVRC, found some not so surprising responses about perceptions related to sexual intercourse and sexual assault. But the survey also found some startling misconceptions about what constitutes sexual assault and rape. The findings show that 87% of women and 82% of men believe that sexual intercourse where one party does not consent is a form of sexual assault or sexual violence. 74% of women and 71% of men believe that sexual intercourse with someone who is intoxicated by alcohol or drugs is also a form of sexual assault. 72% of women and 56% of men believe that watching someone in private without their knowledge or permission is a form of sexual assault. For most people, that's called voyeurism. Only 60% of women and 40% of men believe that verbal remarks that are unsolicited are a form of sexual assault, like calling someone a bitch, a hoe, a slut, and things like that. One of the primary reasons for the misconceptions around sexual assault or rape is the fact that legal terms, codes, and laws vary. Every state has different laws related to what constitutes sex crimes and how each crime is defined. For example, some states do not consider it a rape if the party verbally protests, but isn't physically forced to have sex. That's where sexual coercion. Why do I say it weird? Sexual coercion. That's where that comes in. Like people get coerced into sex. I don't believe in you can be. I don't think that's sexual assault either because you have the right to say yes or no. Like you can stop. I tell people like all the time, if you say no the first time, say no the 100th time. That way, like he knows from that point on that no means no. So back to the Bill Cosby case. He was never on trial for rape. A lot of people thought he was on trial for rape. No, he was on trial for sexual assault from I can't remember the lady's name, but I've always said she looked like Steven Tyler. And the thing, like, she asked for a headache. The whole thing about headache, he gave her Benadryl, which is like over the counter drugs. It's not even like no Quaaludes because everybody thought he gave her Quaaludes. It's like he didn't give her Quaaludes, he gave her fucking Benadryl. Now, what does this say? And like a lot of people, okay, the people that are happy about it, like me, because I don't think he did it, and I don't think you should be like I know this is really, and this could bite me in the ass too, but this is why I tell people make sure you have some evidence or some shit like that. Like if there's a rape kit, and I understand that even with rape kits, like even like if the fact that people have been proven to rape, people still get let go. That is the system's problem. That is not the person's problem. I've said this many of times. That falls under the system, not the person. If I like yes, if he did it, he should, like, if there's video evidence, and people say if there's video evidence of a person doing a crime or like sexual assault or raping a person, he should get locked up. A lot of people agree to this. But if there is nothing there, there's no evidence, there is no hearsay. It's just nothing but hearsay, but no one can really prove that you have been raped if there's no rape kits. And like that's why I understand that a lot of women do not come forward, but that's why people tell you if you would have got raped, go to the police. Yes, y'all don't like that answer, but at least you can get at least like you have your proof out there. Then it's on the system problem. If they get off on that, that's the system problem. But there's some that is like if there's things like a rape kit can prove that you were forced to have sex without your consent, You could put that down there. Like now, if he, like I said, if he gets off, that's the system. Like the system, now the system does need to be fixed. But here, the system was flawed on Bill Cosby's turn because there was nothing proven that he did it. There was nothing proven that he did it. A lot of the women, and I'm not gonna say a lot of the women, but there was women on there that lied about it. There's women that on there that, hell, I'm pretty sure some of them never even met Bill Cosby. They was just trying to get a quick buck out of him. Yes, it happens, ladies. Women will lie to get a quick buck out of him. I'm not saying all women do this, but there are cases and facts that women do this. That doesn't mean that doesn't honestly, and none of this should prevent you from coming forward. And this is what Ben said. It's like I understand. It's like this is why women don't come forward. I was like, no, you should still come forward. Just because that shit happened to her does not mean it's going to happen to you. And if it because it happened to her and it happens to you, then you need to look at the system and be like, we need to fix this. Because if rapists are getting off, and because either way, like either you don't admit that you being raped, you just let the rapist off. In my opinion, it's like you're more. I don't want to say you're responsible for it because you didn't ask to be raped, and I'm not saying you are asking for it. Nor would I ever say you are asking to be raped. But things like this, I feel like if you let people like this go, they're just going to do that to somebody else. And then like it just goes on. And this to me, this is how people get away. I personally look, and I say this to anyone, women, if you have been sexual assault, please go to. If you have been raped or sexual assault, please go to the police. At least you have your story out there. You have your story, and if your story checks out, the people will back you. The people, because we don't like a lot of men do not think all men are rapists, but if you have physical evidence of people proving that they raped somebody, men will be the first to get that motherfucker because nobody enjoys that shit. Now, like I said, for the people that are angry, why are you angry? Did you read the? Because a lot of you, I understand. Yes, there are injustices, but that man, what was happening to Bill Cosby was an injustice, in my opinion. I feel like that was an injustice, and I feel like a lot of y'all never read the deposition. That's why y'all think he admitted that he did it. For those people, oh, he admitted that he did it. You never read the fucking deposition. Like you never read the fucking deposition. You never like. I think even a lot of people have to have their story out there. If any, I will encourage anybody go and read that deposition because I had to read that shit before I gave my opinions about it. I said I wanted when it's allowed to read out in public. I definitely looked at it. Honestly, all it was a bunch of lawyers arguing with each other. But the main thing, he never admitted that he raped those women or he put drugs in those, he put Quaaludes in their drinks without them knowing. They knew. So obviously they knew what they was getting into. And I understand like people try to keep the innocence of women, but not for this one. I mean, I don't want to say not for this because that sounds fucked up. But I feel like you knew. I understand there are naive people in this world, but also I know that you understand that what you do has consequences, and this is why what men try to tell women all the time. It's not that because a lot of women feel like we're trying to tell you what to do. You're trying to oppress us, and it's not even like that. Half the time, it's like you can do what you want, but there are some consequences to your actions. There are consequences to all of your actions to where if you're going to do stuff, something's going to happen. For every action, there's a reaction. A lot of you women want to do stuff like without people bugging them. Like it's not going to happen like that. Some things it's just like it's fucking Murphy's Law, I think. And that's why like a lot of men is just like we care for your safety. It's just you know. Anyway, in conclusion, I'm glad. I'll be the first to tell you, I'm glad Bill Cosby is free. If y'all block, if y'all block me, y'all gonna have to block me. But I'd rather y'all have this. I'd rather y'all have a conversation with me because it's um that to about this specific subject. Because a lot of people, because this is how most people is like, oh, if you agree, if you're happy that Bill Cosby is free, then you're a rape apologist. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. First of all, in order for me to be a rape apologist, I have to admit that he raped those women, which I don't think he did. And then I had to defend that, which I will never do. I will never defend a rapist for doing that. And this is why I said the gray area is like they don't call that gray area for a reason. Like the whole thing with like if both of y'all are drunk and y'all have sex, all of a sudden she regrets it, you raped her or some shit like that, or like that sexual assault. I disagree with that, especially if I didn't force you to drink. If both of us drank and we both got drunk and had drunk sex, it's like, but a lot of people's like, that's why you got to be careful. I said that's not fair, but no one talks about that. It's just like, or at least it's like, what if she was the one that was pushing for it? There's a lot of white, like, and telling you, most people will tell you, there's a lot of white women back in the days that will have sex with black men, consent wise, and then lie when their father catches them talking about he raped me. That's happened. Not just in movies, that has really happened. I know a lot of black dudes that's either lost their lives or in jail for life because a supposed rape that never happened fucking like cost them their lives and shit. Like shit like this does happen. You could say yes, that's a low percentage, but it does fucking happen. And you got to be concerned about that. Anyway, and also, I'm not here for the Felicia Rashad slander. All right. Y'all gonna leave that woman alone. Like y'all gonna leave that woman alone. All right. Y'all no, because I see a lot of people try to come after Felicia. Y'all don't do that to go Felicia Rashad. I don't care if she. I don't care who you are. It's just like you do not come after the Queen Felicia Rashad like that. All right. She defended that man since day one. She saw the bullshit through it. Y'all just like y'all not gonna come after her. But it's because I know a lot of people they was doing that before. You got I was like, oh, she let them happen. It was like she wasn't there when he allegedly did this stuff. It was like, why are y'all doing this? But you know, a lot of people they just want to lash out or something. Felicia Rashad had his back. Keisha Knight Pulliam, aka Rudy Hustle, had his back. Malcolm Jamal Warner had his back. I don't know if he flip flop or not. I heard people say he flip flop, but last time I checked, he had his back. I don't know about Sinbad. I know Eddie Griffin had his back. Boosie definitely had his back. Like Boosie thought it was bullshit. I thought it was bullshit. I know a lot of my friends thought it was bullshit. Some people are just not that open to admit it. Some people just don't know. I thought it was bullshit. So, welcome home, Bill Cosby. If y'all don't like it, y'all can eat a dick. Y'all can block me. I'd rather we have a conversation first before you block me. But if y'all gonna block me, go ahead and block me. I don't think he did it. So let me know what you guys think. Till then, my name is Oskino Fly, and I am out. Peace.